TFA Fam, what is going on? Welcome into another edition of the Fantasy Authority podcast. This time breaking down the quarterback rankings for the divisional round. Real quick before we jump into it, we are giving away the autographed jerseys this week live. One of them is going to be given away on the DFS show, which is going to be Thursday. What time you guys going live, Kev?
We usually go live around 9 p.m. Central Time.
So 10 p.m. for the rest of us normal people who go by normal time. And then Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Prop Talk video. We'll be giving them away live on the show. So if you want your chance to win, just watch. We're going to ask a question. Whoever answers first, boom, you get it. Kev, let's just go ahead and jump into the quarterbacks for the divisional round. Like I said, pretty straightforward. We both have Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2, Lamar Jackson at 3. And then at 4 is where we start to get a little bit different. You have Aaron Rodgers at 4, Tom Brady at 5, Baker at 6, Drew Brees at 7, and Goff at 8. And I have it Brady at 4, Aaron Rodgers at 5, Drew Brees at 6, Baker Mayfield at 7, and Jared Goff at 8. Who do you want to touch on this week for these quarterbacks? I think it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, Mahomes is in an absolute smash spot going up against Cleveland, who just let the ghost of Roethlisberger past put up 500 yards on him. So he's the clear one. But how do you feel about the rest of this group?
Well, I think the first conversation you have to have when it comes to the quarterbacks this week, if you're in a league where you can, pick new players every single week, is the majority of your league is probably going to have Patrick Mahomes, right? I think that he's probably going to be leading and probably, so it's going to depend on how you did last week. If you hit some rough patches, maybe if you pick somebody that didn't really perform as well, like a Derrick Henry, for example, that didn't really put up the numbers that you're really looking for. If you're trailing a little bit, maybe you get a little bit different this week and don't go with the Patrick Mahomes because he's going to be absolute chalk going against this Cleveland defense. I think you could probably definitely look at Josh Allen, the way that he's been playing, coming off another great game against the Colts this past weekend. And then, you have Lamar, who has that rushing ceiling to get there every single week. Doesn't really get there on passing, but I do like Josh Allen. I think this Bills and Ravens game should bear a lot of fantasy goodness. The Bills are currently 4th in implied points for on this week with 26. They are trailing Green Bay, the Saints, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are obviously number 1 at 32 and a quarter, or 32 and 3/4. So I think if you want to get a little bit different, I think you do go look at maybe somebody like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson for this week. If you're in something like an NFL.com league, you're probably locked in at Patrick Mahomes if you played him last week like we did in the league that we're running for the Miles Sanders jersey. But the other quarterbacks, I'm really concerned about Aaron Rodgers. I think I may have him even too high. I could probably lower him a little bit lower down. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is bald this year. We're going against this Rams defense. This game really feels a lot like last week's game between the Seahawks and the Rams, where I think it could be low scoring. I don't expect the Rams to be able to put up a lot of points against the Packers here. So I do think that it is concerning because the Rams have only allowed a 300-yard passer twice this year, and it was to Josh Allen, I believe, and Jimmy Garoppolo, which was a long time ago. Back it was like week 4 and 9 or something like that. Off the top of my head. So this game does worry me a little bit about Aaron Rodgers, but they are home. Aaron Rodgers is bald this year, right? He's just crushed. But I do think that this could be a game that maybe it's a little bit lower scoring. So I am a little concerned about Aaron Rodgers. Baker Mayfield, I think, is interesting, depending on the type of league you're in for this week, because if the Chiefs are going to be putting up all these points, they're clearly going to have to throw the ball. And the Chiefs have struggled to stop the pass with the last 4 games that they played. They've allowed 288 yards per week passing. So if the Chiefs are putting up a lot of points, they're going to have to keep up. Baker's going to be definitely going to have to throw the ball here in this matchup. So, I do like Baker, I think, as kind of like an undervalued guy that no one's going to play, that you want to get really different. You have a lot of ground to make up. I think you could look at Baker.
I really don't have too much else to add. Like you were talking about at the beginning, I think if you're in a league, especially where you can only play these guys once, like if you have to set a new lineup each week and you can only use each guy one time throughout the entire playoff, I would be looking at either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. That's where I would go this week, just to hold on to Mahomes and save him. Obviously, they're a favorite to make it to the Super Bowl, so that's where I'd be looking. Just one more thing to touch on with Aaron Rodgers. The other thing that kind of made me drop him down to this point is whenever I looked at the plays that they run per game. I think they're bottom 5 on the year in terms of offensive plays run, and then almost no matter what way you slice it for pace of play, they're either dead last or in the bottom 5 in that too, whether you're looking at neutral, leading, behind. It doesn't really matter. They're not running a bunch of plays. I think we see the Rams try and play keep away, which is going to slow this game down even more. It's the lowest over-under on the week. So I'm glad that whenever I pulled these up and I saw you had Rodgers at 4, I felt a lot better about having him at 5. And then other than that, I really don't think you have to dip down too much further. Drew Brees is interesting. Again, if you're looking to get a little bit different, just looking at what Heineke was able to do to that passing defense last week. Obviously, Drew Brees with his full complement of weapons back, I think you could look to him if you needed to. But other than that, it's the top 3 options for me. I really don't think you have to dip too far below unless you're trying to get different. Like you said, that's really it. It's it's pretty straightforward this week. You can always reach out to us. Let us know if you have any questions. Drop it in the comments, or you can always go over to the community tab. We've been posting stuff there, asking you guys questions, so you can always drop us questions over there if you are a subscriber. Again, the jerseys we're giving away Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want your shot at the Allen Robinson and Keenan Allen jerseys, come join us on Thursday and Friday, hang out a little bit, and we'll talk to you guys soon.